the beginning, I just didn't know that you're an enemy I held too close. Now
Hey, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. Hello. How are you? Happy Friday. We've made it through another week. I just want to give a couple of shout outs. I was just at trending at some point. She is doing Freeform Friday, so shout out to her. Great time over there. And also, Pretty Brown Eyes just got monetized, so congratulations to her as well. So, good things are happening in these YouTube streets. And yeah, glad to have all you guys here. So I hope you guys have saw or seen the videos that I posted. So I'm trying to put myself out here on these YouTube streets. And of course, it's not going to be easy at first. Anything in life, you're going to have to do the work to get work. But I hope that we can have fun while, doing the work. So thank you so much to everybody who's been watching those videos. And yes, there will be more to come. I'm trying to learn the algorithm, right? And not so much the algorithm of, what I need to do to be seen, but the algorithm of, hey, Choice, welcome in. But the algorithm of being able to know what needs to matter, right? Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to post every single topic and it's not trending, right? But also, too, I'm about authenticity as well. So I do just want to say thank you so much to everybody. Like I said, Pretty Brown Eyes just got monetized. Congratulations to her. And also trending at some point as well. Um, I'm trying to recognize that at the end of the day, just because it may be slow growth doesn't mean that you're not growing. So yeah, welcome in everybody. So we're gonna go through some topics today. Was gonna be three, but I saw a fourth story that I really thought was really important. And oops, sorry, y'all. I'm doing it on my phone, but then I'm doing it on my laptop too. So I'm using my laptop to be able to communicate with you guys. So first story up is the People's Choice Awards, right? So they're having a country music version of it, hosted by Little Big Town. It's going to be on NBC and Peacock. And so I thought to myself, could there be a People's Choice Black Awards? But then that's what the BET Awards are for. But in the same token, we just saw the BET Awards and how the BET Awards has devolved their ratings, y'all. 1.8 million, 1.8 million just on BET by itself, combined with all the other Paramount networks, 2,800,000 people. Y'all, there was a point in time where the BET Awards was getting 10 million people to watch it back in its heyday. And it's just, all right, if we could just throw something on TV, I guess that will work. And I think that, we deserve better entertainment award shows than what we saw at the BET Awards. And that's not to say there weren't good moments. Yes, Quavo and, Offset, coming back together to surprise and to honor Takeoff was quite incredible. Busta Rhymes getting that amazing honorary Lifetime Achievement Award. So there were good moments, but if you have to find the good moments just to say that a show happened, then was it really a show in the first place? So I think, maybe People's Choice could do a black show for us and diversify what it is. So you got the People's Choice Music Awards, you got the People's Choice Movie Awards, but diversify it a little bit. Okay. So this is something that I thought that y'all should know for YouTube, right? So you know that they have different copyright strikes. Well, I did not know about this, and I thought that you guys should know as well. As it pulls up on my laptop here. So YouTube is testing a 3-strike policy for ad blockers. That's right. They're testing 3-strike policy for ad blockers. So here's the thing, right? So YouTube is testing three-strike policies to block videos from users who use ad blockers. So YouTube users who deploy ad blockers may soon be staring at a blank screen. Alphabet's YouTube confirmed to multiple outlets that it's running a small experiment globally that urges viewers with ad blockers enabled to allow ads on YouTube or to try YouTube Premium. Users who use ad blockers are detected or seeing a pop-up window that warns video player will be blocked after using video player will be blocked after 3 videos. The text explains that video playback will be blocked unless the watcher allows the ads to play or disables the ad blocker. It also invites users to subscribe to YouTube Premium, which costs $120 a year for an individual subscription. Now, I'm letting y'all know this up front because I don't want y'all to turn on the ads and then you can't see your video or you can't, get monetized. I think personally, it's YouTube. They're going to do what they want to do. But I think, ad blockers, really, there's a lot of stuff that you could do to get around that, right? Maybe ask them to, hey, if you have a sponsorship, you could change your watermark at the bottom to the sponsor of that logo, right? Because at the end of the day, people want to be able to access their content very easily and readily available, right? So ads just kind of get in the way of that. But also, too, in the same token, YouTube does make their money from ad revenue. And also, if you're a YouTube partner, guess what? You want to be able to make your money too. Even though YouTube takes 30% of your earnings, you're still getting a check from YouTube. So I just want you guys to know, if you use ad blockers, your video player will be blocked after 3 videos. So I don't know when they're going to implement around the country and around the world, but they are doing a test right now. So I just want you guys to know that. All right? All right. So we talked about that. So Taraji P. Henson, the legendary Taraji P. Henson's dream is coming true. This is from The Wrap. It says it only took a couple of decades, but Academy Award-winning actress Taraji P. Henson is finally making her Hollywood dreams come true with a star turn on a prominent sitcom. She says, this is literally what I've been wanting to do for 20-something odd years, Henson said in a recent interview with The Wrap. Of course, she's referring to her turn in Abbott Elementary in the show's second season, where she plays Vanita, the unreliable, outrageous mother of steadfast and loyal protagonist Jamie Quianta Bronson. I'm grateful for the career that I've had as opposed to starting as a comedic actress, proving myself as dramatic, but now this is easy because this is just what I want to do. So what this went to show me was sometimes celebrities have dreams too, right? Because we all know Taraji P. Henson rather, can act. She can act. I think we all get that. However, you do feel like you are typecasted after so long of, I'm doing this dramatic role and that dramatic role. Everything is dramatic, but you carry the role with you if you are an actor or actress like Taraji P. Henson is. So when seeing this, she's been wanting to be in a sitcom for 20-something years. And so I am happy for the fact that Taraji P. Henson is happy with where she wants to be. Because remember when she was going through what she was going through, and she said to Angie Martinez in that very vulnerable interview that she was not really happy where she was. I almost forgot one more thing. I forgot our music. There it is. So she said to, Angie Martinez that she really was not that happy. And so, oops, sorry, y'all. Did not mean for it to be that loud. Hang on. There we go. Sorry about that. So Taraji P. Henson said in an interview with Angie Martinez that, she was not that happy mentally. Hey, P&2 Ross, welcome in, Queen. Glad to have you here. That's Roger B. Henson really wasn't that happy mentally. And so to go from that state of mind and then go over to Bali for, I think, a couple of months just to clear her mind, to now come back and she is living out her dream that she's wanted for 20 something years, I think is a marvelous testament that everyone has dreams. And sometimes the uneasiness or the unhappiness that you have usually is not something that you're going through, but something that's been in you for a long time that you've wanted to bring out. So shout out to Taraji P. Henson, one of the greatest actresses, not just of all time, but of our generation as well. So yes, our next story here. Our next story here, I was going to do 3 stories, but then I saw this 4th story and really want to speak on this because I thought it was quite important. So for those of you who don't know, the Essence Festival Culture is happening. And so this is a huge reset for the Essence Festival of Culture. I can pull up the story here. Sometimes my phone and technology in general just does not want to work. But give me a moment here. By the way, thank you everybody who is here. P&2 Ross Choice Designs, the 3rd person that just came in. Thank you all for being here so much. This is Braylon's Virtual Tour Live, where we talk about some of the hot topics of the day that maybe are being talked about, maybe are not being talked about. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video on your way in. If you just are in the bushes, like the video as you are in the bushes, because it's still a view, and I appreciate everyone who does come through. So with that being said, new Essence Festival leaders aim to shake up and revitalize the festival in 2023 and beyond. So in 2022, the Essence Festival of Culture bounced back in person following 2 years of virtual only festivities during the pandemic. The 2023 Essence Fest, which opens Friday at the Caesar Superdome, which is today, Ernest and Moral Convention Center, other venues, is the first to truly, fully reflect the forward-leaning vision of Carolyn Wanga and Hakeem Holmes. So Wanga is president and CEO of Essence Ventures. Hired in 2020, she is charged with revitalizing the Essence brand. So here's something that is quite interesting. In a recent interview, Okay, can y'all hear me now? There we go. I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened. I was trying to read the story, so y'all didn't even hear anything I was saying. My goodness. Anyway, thank you, PN2 Ross. Love you, love you, love you. I appreciate you. So, basically, what I was saying with the Essence Festival of Culture was it is a evolution of the festival, right? Because you guys remember in 2020 when the pandemic happened, it became a lot of virtual events, and the Essence Festival of Culture bounced back in person after 2 years of virtual events only during the pandemic. And so, for example, the attendance fluctuated back and forth, right? And so let me read this here. The first Essence Festival was in 1995. Was intended to be a one-off celebration of the magazine's 25th anniversary. Its success that endured became an annual event. The formula was R&B with old school artists augmented by more contemporary acts. Now, I've never been to the Essence Festival of Culture. I've heard it's the biggest Black family reunion ever. You get to see anyone and everybody. And I really do want to go sometime because I do feel that at the end of the day, that is our event, right? So, superstars such as Prince, Beyonce, and Kanye West before his fall from grace, and Janet Jackson were surefire ticket sellers. And so attendance fluctuated over the years. In 2018, following the success of the raunchy comedy Girls Trip, which centered on Essence Fest, the festival sold out all 3 nights of Superdome concerts for the first time. Now you got to think about from 1995 to 2018, they weren't selling out the Superdome. That was the first time that they ever did. In 2022, the Superdome was full for Janet Jackson's Saturday night headline performance, but only half full for a Friday night bill topped by Nicki Minaj. It was only under survival mode under Time Incorporated. So when Time Incorporated, acquired Essence magazine, it really didn't have a soul. It was just trying to keep the essence, pun intended, of what that magazine was, just chugging along, but not investing anything into the platform. So they are trying to revive the Essence Festival of Culture here. The health of this festival was directly connected to the health of the brand when we acquired it from Time. It was under-resourced and malnourished. It was a business in trouble. The magazine was not making money, and we were a festival that was losing its cachet. Change came sometimes under turmoil. Of more than 100 names on the Essence magazine masthead in January 2022, only 6 remain. We had 90% turnover since January 2022. 90% turnover, y'all. That means there was no Essence magazine, essentially. So only there was 10% of the staff. So they sought to re-anchor Essence Fest. And we are touching a cultural artifact that has been around for almost 3 decades. You're upsetting everybody. The sacred cows are going to clap back. Here's something that you guys should know. Revitalizing the festival is always on a year-round team. So Essence is not affiliated with Live Nation or AEG Presents, the 2 dominant concert promoters globally, which can be a disadvantage. Live Nation and AEG often buy rights to entire tours, reducing the number of top-tier acts available to Essence. Essence had also had competitors. Mary J. Blige has launched her own Strength of a Woman festival in Atlanta last year. Staged in May, Strength of a Woman is strikingly similar to Essence, with its multi-night format to daytime seminars in partnership with a cola company, Coca-Cola. So they are trying to figure out how to attract a young audience while retaining long-time attendees. For most of its 3 decades, the Essence Festival was held down from a consumer revenue standpoint by the baby boomers. They were the loudest emotional attachment, or they have the loudest emotional attachment to the festival and consider themselves to be the holders of this festival. People are emotionally attached to how it used to be, but can't stay the same. So the boomers are probably feeling the most amount of shift. And I would agree with that. I think that, grandmas and grandpas and Everybody who had, all the magazines on the coffee stand, in the beauty salons, in the barber shops before social media, they were probably like, why so many concerts? Why so many panels? Can we not just hang out? And I think the reason why it is evolving is because what it is to be black has been evolving for such a long time, and now they have to catch up to what it is to be black now. So, it says eventually Gen Xers are going to be Superdome spenders, the ones who will buy 3-day packages and high price tickets. We want to train Gen Z and millennials to be the next. I think the best way to bring in new black people into the festival is to offer experiences that they can come through. Like, just imagine if they opened it up for, content creators to be on panels at the Essence Festival of Culture. Imagine if content creators could be keynote speakers. Imagine if somebody could make their debut as an artist on one of the stages at Essence. So providing opportunities to our culture, for our culture to rise, I think will probably be the best solution. So I know that was long-winded, but I felt like it was necessary to talk about our culture and what it means, that we should care about this, because at the end of the day, no one else is going to Essence except us. So I will drop the link if you guys want to come up. If not, I may not stay on here long, because Tea Talk with Your Girl said you don't want to stay on too long if the conversation is not flowing. But also, too, I do kind of like this because you guys are able to hear me in a long form way. Hey, Simone, welcome in. Glad to have you here. All right, link is dropped. Going to pin the message there. All right, you all, if you want to come on up and talk with me, you are more than welcome to. I appreciate all of you being here. PN2 Ross, Simone, Choice Designs, thank you all for being here. So yeah, we're just chilling out. Like I said, talked about the Essence Festival of Culture and how they are reviving it. Essence had a 90% turnover rate in January of 2020. So basically there was no magazine. And it's shocking to hear that. It's shocking to hear that, but not shocking to hear that, because 2020 really messed over everybody. But with black media outlets, we are never really invested into as much as we deserve to be, because we are the caretakers of how we see ourselves. We are the caretakers of how we give to each other. Most of all, we are the caretakers of what we embrace in our culture. So to see that the Essence Festival of Culture is going through a shift in mindset is a good thing. I don't think things are supposed to stay the same. Hey, PNT Ross, welcome in.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, Queen. It's always good to hear your lovely voice.
You too, King. I didn't want you up here by yourself, so I said, let me go up and chit chat with you for a little bit.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Anything you want to talk about from the topics that are in the description or anything on your mind, I am here to chill. So
I think it's wonderful that Taraji took time to give herself the self-care that she needed to get to the place she needed to go.
yes,
I think that's wonderful, because as women, as black women, we tend to push through when we sometimes need to stop and just be still.
amen to that.
So I applaud her, and I would encourage everybody to pay attention to themselves and their bodies, to know when to stop and just be still. I'm getting ready to be 50, and I'm learning that
Yes.
this My dad passed last year. It'll be a
Sorry to hear
year
that.
in July. Thank you.
No problem.
And with his passing, I have learned to be more in tune with my feelings and with my body. And when my body says, okay, I need you to slow down, I need you to take a nap, I do that. When before, I would be on my last breath before I would stop.
Right.
And that's very important. And it's a shame that it took me this long to learn it, but it's better to learn it now than to end up in the hospital.
No, absolutely. And let me ask you a question from that space. I appreciate your vulnerability. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel that, and I may be idiotic in asking this question, but do you feel that because society has told women what to do, but specifically black women who to be for the longest time, you have had to find your own energy to have your own peace? And because of that mindset, you have been broken in some areas that sometimes it takes a little bit longer to heal from.
I would say yes and no,
Okay.
because the culture tells you, I'm gonna say the culture tells you to do that. But I had a very good example with my grandmother, and that she was one of those women until the day she passed that she took a nap every day, every
Mm.
day. And she paid attention, and that was one of her things. People used to ask her, how do you live so long? She said, you treat your fellow man right, and you pay attention to your body, and you treat your body right. So with my grandmother, I had that example. But the culture says, keep going, don't pay attention, you got to keep going, you're a black woman, you got to keep pushing through. So I think it's both, because even if you have a good example of the things that you need to do, sometimes you put it on the back burner because you feel, okay, that's old timey, or that's what they did and they don't understand that we got to get over here now. So I think it's both.
Okay, no, and I appreciate, and sincerely, I appreciate the vulnerability, because that is one thing that I am trying to learn more of, is how can I be better understanding of the women in my culture. Not saying that I'm going to relate to everything, because that would be disrespecting all of you, but
Mm-hmm.
I also do feel that anything that I can do to be a better service only makes me better and only makes you better, because if you're not understood as the person you are, I can't pour anything out of me into you.
Right. And I applaud you for taking that stance, because that's going to make you a better husband one day, and that's going to make you a better dad one day, that you're in tune. And I've been blessed to have a husband that's in tune, and he'll say, babe, you need to rest. And I used to be like, whatever. But that's going to make you a good husband, because even when your wife is going, and you're
Hmm.
going to remind her, babe, get somewhere and sit down. She might not do it now, but at least you're letting her know. You'll be
Right.
like, babe, because that's one thing my husband, he's always done. When my daughter was much younger, he'd be like, leave the baby with me and just go be you.
Hmm.
Just go
Yep.
take some time for you. And even the days that I didn't do it, it still resonated in my mind when I was like too tired or whatever. It's like, okay, he told me Saturday to go be me and go take some time, and I didn't
Hmm.
do it. So, okay, this is your fault, because you had the opportunity, but you didn't. So I applaud you for doing that, because like I said, it's gonna make you a better man, period, but especially a good husband and father, because it's gonna help you being more in tune. And some woman will be very lucky to have you, because you're going to be sensitive to her needs even when she's not sensitive to her own needs that she needs,
Well, I thank
if
you
that
for
makes
the.
sense.
No, it absolutely does, and I welcome that, receive that, embrace that fully. And at the end of the day, everyone always says you will meet your match. So as big as I want to be in media, there will be some woman that will match me pound for pound, soul for soul, energy for energy in their career. And even though I'll be doing the Braylon morning show and talk show and, hosting Family Feud and having this big career.
Yes.
At the end of the day, when I get in that house at 5:00, if you had a rough day and I see that, sit down. You don't tell me what to do. I'm sorry. I just did a 12-hour day of making the world happy, and now this is my world. So no. So it's going to be an interesting exchange of energy for me to meet my match. But in the same token, your match is supposed to bring the best out of you. So if she understands where I'm coming from, that even though I spend a 12-hour day being on every screen across the world, that I can still come home and invest in her, she will understand my energy.
Right.
So, but no, I'm definitely proud to Taraji P. Henson. And listen, the fact that she has wanted to be on a sitcom for over 20 something years, it goes to show you that celebrities have dreams too. They're just not, sometimes they don't have the space to say that. Because you watch Entertainment Tonight, Extra, E! News, even TMZ on TV, you hear about their projects so much so that way they won't be homeless on the street, that you don't get to hear their soul. Because I would have never known that she wanted to do a sitcom unless she would have said something, because I'm like, she's taking all these dramatic roles, but then that's ignorance on my part of not recognizing, okay, for all the drama that she can do, there's got to be some joy that's in her too. So,
and you got to think about it. The money is going to be totally different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that she's comfortable at a point now where it's like, you know what? I can take me a sitcom vacation for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't have to be dramatic. If the role comes and I know I can do it, then okay. But do I have to do it? No. And no is a whole paragraph.
Right. And all of us need to learn that whole paragraph.
Yes.
Of no.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah. I feel like, honestly, Taraji P. Henson can really do whatever she wants to do. I remember she filled in for the Kelly Clarkson show. And I'm just like, you know what? If Taraji P. Henson comes up with a Taraji P. Henson show, I'm going to fly out to LA and I'm going to say, I'm going to be your Twitch. God rest in peace to that good brother. But I'm going to be your Twitch. Well, why are you going to be it, Braylon? Well, for one, I got none but free time. Number two, you auntie. I'm nephew. You got privilege to say things that I can't say. I got privilege to say things that you can't say. And we both know you a fine auntie out here. Nephew gang, stay ready. So if we can take that dynamic and make people feel like they can have a space with you 5 days a week, and you already done this for all these movies, this is about to be the easiest talk show ever. Now she can be like, you know what? You are right. Now what? But why did you say nephew gang, stay ready? Do you not see yourself, Taraji? Really? Really? So you and Terrence had that chemistry for no reason. We all saw that scene in Empire when you were at the dinner table. Every camera person that day lost it. They didn't say it to you, but I promise you, behind the scenes, they were losing it that day.
You being messy.
And y'all know that exact scene I'm talking about too.
You're being messy.
Listen, men and women were losing it that day. Listen.
You're telling the truth. You tell the truth, but you're being messy.
By the way, y'all, the corner is brought to you by the Tempur-Pedic gamer chair. Understand? Tempur-Pedic Gamer Chair has wonderful, wonderful support for your back when you add too much of a fool in the life. It also has massage functions as well. So shout out to the Tempur-Pedic Game Chair for sponsoring in the corner segment on Braylon's Virtual Tour Live.
You ain't got a bougie corner.
Listen, if I am going to go to the corner because I am acting a fool, I'm going to be comfortable because I still have a job to do.
See, nobody can put you in the corner on your own show now. Hold on. Wait a minute. You can't come to somebody else's house and put them in the corner.
No, it's all in good fun. It's an inside joke that we have at Tea Talk with Your Girls channel that, we all have this corner that we have in case, we act a fool. I don't think I've been in the corner too many times in the live because I'm usually on my best behavior most of the time. I can't even say that with a straight face.
I'm over here side-eyeing you. Like, okay.
I mean, if you want to believe that, that's fine, Brand. But we all know the real truth about you.
I don't go to other people's house starting mess. I just sit there and look at it and wait till I go out and wait till I leave and say, now he know he was in there showing out.
Exactly right. But no, it's all in good fun. It really, really is. And since we are here and since we did talk about Taraji P. Henson, I want to bring up this story because it seems like for diversity, equity, inclusion in Hollywood, it is being cut dramatically. So the chief diversity officer of Disney has left Disney, and Warner Brothers Discovery, who is trying to figure out the soul of who they are as a company. Something happened recently. And I want to hear y'all take on it. And by the way, both of these people are Black women. So Warner Brothers Discovery cuts high-profile diversity leader Karen Horn. Warner Brothers Discovery is laying off Karen Horn, a respected executive who had overseen diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts at the storied film and television company in Burbank. Horn becomes the latest senior executive forced out amid a massive restructuring. Warner Bros. Discovery announced Horn's departure to the staff on Wednesday, sources told The Times. Megan Klein, a spokesperson for the company, confirmed Horn's exit, but said that her departure was not a part of cost cutting, but rather a rethinking and organization.
You cut out.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, sorry y'all. For some odd reason, whenever I go out, it does cut off. But let me see if I can. Lord Jesus, hang on. Let me see if I can post or something here. Hang on, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm still on mute. Go ahead, P&2 Ross. I'm going to see if I can.
Speaking of Disney, did you hear about the employees? It was 8 employees that were men. Well, it was 8 employees that were men that were arrested for children's corn. I'm not gonna say the word. In a corn bus. And it's been real hush hush. But
no, I have not.
Yes.
Oh wow.
It went under the radar, but matter of fact, I'll send you where somebody I follow had it on their page, and I saw it this morning, and I thought that's what you was fit to say, but you shook up the shook.
No, but you know what though? I appreciate that story because it needs to be. See, this is the crazy thing about media. This is why I do Braylon's Virtual Tour Live, because I was talking with T Talk with your girl, and she, by the way, if y'all not support her, please support her. She is just beyond amazing. And so I was talking with her about, she was like, well, you doing the virtual tour lives may not really do anything because, at the end of the day, if you don't have a big audience, people want to hear the trending topics. I'm like, I understand that, but also too, I know I'm good live. And she also has agreed that I'm good live as well. So I know that this type of content is kind of new to YouTube in a way because it is going beyond the headlines and stuff. But I believe that we all on YouTube and really we all in the world deserve a platform that covers topics that relate to our community.
Right.
In a way that may not matter right now, but that will need to matter at some point in time. So if I am doing this and it's only one person watching, guess what? Eventually, when the story catches on to YouTube, well, Braylon already covered that on his virtual tour live. So
Right.
I've come to realize that at the end, and she was only saying this to help me, not hurt me, y'all. So context on everything. I've come to realize that sometimes we have to be the only ones to stand up while everyone else is sitting down. Respectfully. So, but no, that story sounds crazy to me. So was this at the park or
I've been trying to find out, but it looked like they had a bus at the park. From what I'm just looking, I've been trying to find it. Got more information on it. So I'm thinking it was at the park.
wow.
Because of the way it's headed.
Right. Wow, that's just
Because if it was just a couple of people at a home, I think it would be
right.
It would be different. It might not be. I don't know. But I've been trying to find out more information all day long, on and off. But
That
I
is
thought
just
that
crazy.
was very interesting,
Yeah.
but not surprising.
Yeah, Disney has many different sides to it, just like there's many different sides to who we are as human beings. I remember this one. It was a little much, but it said, I have the D, and he put the D in me, and there was two dueling shirts, and they got kicked out of Disney. Now, personally, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's a hee hee ha ha funny, right? It's not like they were trying to. At least they did. At least they didn't use the Disney typography to spell out the 4-letter word, okay? Because that would have been worse. They understood that they were around kids, but I don't know what it is about people doing what they want to do just anywhere and not realizing that there are consequences to things. And it's just, I don't know. It's just really a sad display.
It's really sad because I remember pre-COVID that I don't think it was Disney, but it was an amusement park. But one of the characters got caught or reported for groping women.
Oh wow!
I wish I could remember what it was, what franchise it was, but I don't believe it was Disney. But it was one of the characters that was just going around getting their little feels on, and people were reporting it, and I guess the right person reported it where it actually made the news. But it's just really sad that children cannot be children.
Yeah.
It's really sad that you can't trust anybody or trust any place that you go and say that your child is safe.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. No, go ahead. Go right ahead.
My daughter is 14 years old, and I think it's ludicrous that I cannot allow her to go to the bathroom by herself.
Yep.
If we're out I go to the bathroom with her. My husband's like, okay, babe, are you going to the bathroom with her? Or if reason I'm not going, he's standing outside of the door because you never know what she's going to encounter in the restroom.
Exactly
And when
right.
this first started, I was so happy that she was old enough to go to the bathroom by herself. Because I'm like, okay, she's a big girl. She can go to the
Right.
bathroom by herself. Honey, I think that lasted one day. And I was pissed. Because I'm like, okay, I finally got her to the age where she can go to the restroom by herself.
Correct.
But no, she can't, because as a young lady, you don't know what's waiting on her inside the bathroom, because
Exactly right.
you have in the same bathroom.
Right.
As a woman who goes to the restroom and encounters these things, I definitely don't want my 14-year-old to be in there encountering these things by herself.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I sincerely worry about waking up every day. And I really truly mean that, y'all. That, going to somebody's house could mean you're not here.
Mm-hmm.
Walking down the street means you're not here. Driving means you're not here. Going to the movies means you're not here. Going to the grocery store can mean you're not here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, thankfully, nobody's been on vacation at Disney World or Universal Orlando or any theme park and something's happened, and I'm not wishing that.
Mm-hmm.
Do not confuse my abrasiveness, my bluntness, and my genuine realness for trying to do the most.
Right.
And I had a conversation today that, some people may see Braylon as abrasive. I want y'all to know something. I am abrasive, I am dogged, and I'm hard-headed for the people I love, care about, and value in my life. And just because I have a moment doesn't mean that's who I am. And I think when you reduce a person to a moment, that says more about your character than mine. Because as you are reducing me as abrasive, I promise you the words that people are speaking about you behind your back are probably way worse than abrasive.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to get out of the fact that just because somebody is different, somebody thinks differently, somebody moves differently, doesn't mean that they this or that. We are all, if I could give an analogy, we are all Baskin Robbins ice cream shops. We all have 31 different sides to us. Sometimes people like us being vanilla and just being comfort. Other times they want rocky road and some dimension. But they still are going to find a flavor out of the 31 sides of us to be able to enjoy. So y'all, please, not just me, not just being too Ross, but anybody who's on YouTube, social media, or your life, do not cast them with a broad stroke of a paintbrush just because you don't understand their color. Okay? And that's with anything and everything and in between, with all this social commentary and stories and rumors and just whatever wants to be in the earth. And I want to bring this conversation back to the conversation that I found here. So that person that I told you guys about at Warner Brothers Discovery, Karen Horn, she served as senior vice president for diversity, equity, inclusion, overseeing all North American components. So she dealt with, she dealt with television, she dealt with film, she dealt with digital, all of those different sides of that company to be able to make sure we're represented at Warner Bros. Discovery. And I know that there's a restructuring process to companies, but I'm really worried at this point that we are restructuring things just to keep a corporation but not have a soul. because with what happened at Disney with the child corn and with just anything and everything happening, it just seems like we are about having a platform, but not having responsible people to be caretakers of that platform. And I don't know what to feel about it. I don't know how to move through that. And I also don't know just really how to even cover it some days. I don't. But yeah.
I think it's very difficult to cover it, but I think that there is, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I think there is a silent movement, and I say this because of, and I felt like this yesterday when I heard all the Supreme Court ish.
Right.
I feel like there is a movement to silence and remove some of us. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree with that.
And some of us are going to be removed, silenced, because our priorities are in the wrong place. And I'm going to get up on my little soapbox for just a couple of minutes.
You're good.
As a mother, I have always said to my children's teachers, and especially when they were little, because everybody always said, "Oh, they're so cute." My reply would be, "Yes, she's cute, but she's here to learn. I'm not going to have no problems out of you. I'm not going to have no problems out of her. If you have a problem with her, make sure you call me. If I have a problem with you, I'm going to call the principal and we're going to have a meeting." It's time for us all, us, to stop and reevaluate what's going on in this world and our values, because they're not trying to take us back a year. They're trying to take us back centuries. And if we don't get a grasp on our children are going to suffer for our ignorance. We're too busy worrying about who got the latest bag, who got the latest pair of shoes, who got the most expensive car, who got the better channel, who got the better flowers in the yard, when we need to be focusing on our children, and we need to get back to the values. Well, I'm not going to say all of us, because all of us weren't taught, but to the values of, I'm going to say our foreparents, because to me, our foreparents had some good values and morals in their life. And
Yes, they did.
They stressed the importance of education. And we're thinking that little Johnny and little Mary is cute at these schools, acting a fool. And in the end, they're going to suffer.
Agreed.
I have a niece that has taught kindergarten for 4 years. And the stuff that a kindergarten does in a kindergarten class just shocks me. It shocks me that the stuff that kindergartens do in kindergarten class. But
right.
They don't know no ABCs, no 1, 2, 3s, no colors, and no shapes. So it's time for us to stop the foolery and shenanigans and get back focused. Because they're not taking us back a year or two. They're trying to take us back centuries.
I
and if
totally
we're not
agree
careful,
with that.
Our children are going to suffer.
Yeah. No, very well said. I mean, I totally agree with you. You know, it's fascinating to me because when the affirmative action happened, the decision from the Supreme Court, I thought about the Little Rock Nine. Mm-hmm. I thought about all the civil rights activists including all the white people that were on our side as well in the
Mm-hmm.
50s. And I thought to myself, what a slap in the face. And I thought about a Boondocks episode of MLK. And he said, is this what the F I died for?
Mm-hmm.
And even though that was a cartoon, I would like to think that they did not write that for no reason. Because the powerful thing about media, we can put messages in media in such a way that we're not able to say it out loud. They have always said, if you want to hide anything from a black person, put it in a book.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, as I was reading that article, or at least parts of that article to y'all, about that, literally in that same article, there is a article from July 3rd of 2020 that says this, and I quote, this is from the LA Times. Hollywood C-suites are overwhelmingly white. What are studios going to do about it? So, the beginning of a new decade, they come up with this article, and now you have Verna Myers, who led Netflix diversity initiative. Vernita Myers, who led Netflix's inclusion and diversity initiatives, announced that she will be leaving the company. You got somebody that was cut as the senior vice president of diversity, equity, inclusion at Warner Bros. Discovery, and now you have the chief diversity officer of Disney leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can tell me what y'all think, but I'm telling you what I know. For you to cut our voice in Hollywood using our actors and actresses, it goes back to the honorary Oscar that Angela Bassett's going to get. You want to use us, but you don't want to invest in us.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're wondering why people are excited about BET, even though I think BET is going to have a long road to find their soul, whoever gets BET. You wonder why I said, why can't we do the People's Choice Black Awards? You wonder why these businesses are popping up. I remember one business in particular, it was a beauty brand that was rejected on Shark Tank. And I think Mr. Wonderful rejected them. And they got a billboard to say, screw you, Shark Tank. To all the corporations and companies, if you're wondering why we're making our own spaces, is because we're not being appreciated in the space that you are giving us. At this point, we're all Angela Bassett getting an honorary Oscar, and we've done the work to get the Oscar.
I agree. It's a bait and switch.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this person there and let him or she do this for a minute. And then I'm going to get rid of them. But I already got your attention and I already got you here. So if you're not really paying attention, you're going to stay.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
My best example of that is the marriage Huntsville.
Yes.
It started off really good. It was a little messy, but now it's stinky. It's stinky Texas sun stinky, where it's been out here marinating. But the numbers are gradually going down. Gradually going down.
Yep.
But they're not going down. The numbers aren't going down the way it should go down. All of that writing and praying and picketing and not watching, that didn't do nothing. Because what they did is they had people thinking that they had. First of all, people thought it was Oprah's company. It's not Oprah's company. Oprah got 1%. Oprah just trying to sit in the cut and get her money. She not doing nothing. So all of a sudden, everybody found out, oh, it's a black lady that's over it, and oh, let's write her. That lady don't care. Come to find out, has been in trouble for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Trouble for a while. They probably got in trouble a little bit after Oprah sold her shares, but they've
Yeah.
been in trouble for a while. So they're on the downslope, going downhill, real fast. But all of that stuff, if it would have really mattered, if the people would have really cared, they would have transformed it.
I agree
But they
with you.
don't care. They use that show and Carlos King to get afloat, and then they just kept going.
I totally agree with you. I mean, there was a clip on the Own Keep It Real Instagram, and this boy had the blackdacity and the blackpocracy to say that the Oprah Winfrey Network got put on the map because of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm like, sir, you must not remember some of the original shows that was at the beginning of the Oprah Winfrey Network. Visionaries inside of the creative mind, Kidnapped by the Kids, Ask Oprah's All Stars, your own show, The Search for the Next, your own show, Oprah Search for the Next TV Star, reruns of Dr. Phil, The Gayle King Show, which was on Sirius XM, which, by the way, for those of you who may not know how Oprah Radio came to be, she had Oprah and Friends originally, and that was on Sirius XM before they combined. So no. And not to mention, too, let's not forget Life Class that went from Oprah sitting down in a turquoise chair for turquoise background to then going to Own Studio. Actually, you know what? Before that, she was at Own Studios in LA, and they would do an after show with this little tiny table and a small audience. Then it went to Own Studios, where you had the purple background and the gold letters, and you could bring people in from Skype and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Then it went to Life Class on Tour, where she was live from, where she taped at MegaFest, and she was live from Radio City Music Hall. So, sir, the Oprah Winfrey Network was way bigger than Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
And
before they were even
what
thought
people
of.
Exactly right. This network was already just fine by itself. And to be honest with you, I think what Warner Bros. Discovery is not recognizing is that cut that they made to the vice president of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is going to be reflective across the whole company. And if y'all really want to know something, Paramount, which was Viacom CBS, but Paramount owns BET. Warner Bros. Discovery OWN is their black network. Disney does not have a black network. And NBC does not have a black network. Do y'all get where I'm going here? Eventually, Disney and NBC are going to have a black network. And so Warner Bros. Discovery needs to say, this is our black network. And we need to fix this thing because black people operate the culture. And without OWN, we don't have any other black network in our portfolio. So there's this thing called the Rooster Teeth Content Creators Program or Digital Content Creators Program. One thing that I put down on my list and how the program works is it's going to be 8 content creators. If you get selected, you get 2 months of virtual mentorship. In the last month, you get to go down to Austin, Texas, and get to work at Rooster Teeth. At the end of it, you will get to talk to executives across all the Warner Bros. Discovery. And you have the chance to win a 1-year talent contract. Don't think I'm not going to talk to the executives of the Oprah Winfrey Network during that showcase. And let them know, listen, my mama grew up on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Our culture grew up on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah became everybody's show, but it was a black woman that led that thing. And I remember the launch to OWN. What if I could take every moment that ever mattered to me, every song I ever danced to, and share it with you? The original colors of OWN were orange, green, and purple. It was a balloon launch, a CGI balloon launch. And then was Oprah's Guide to OWN. She was in this white outfit in this makeshift set with original paintings of OWN. That's how far I go back with the Oprah Winfrey Network. It launched January 1st of 2011 because she left her show in 2010. So for those of you who may not understand why am I so passionate about giving commentary to media, culture, social capital, is because Oprah did not come this far for this to be her network. And I know I'm not in power. I know my voice ain't that big. I know I'm not a Kim Parr, DJ Richie Sky, or Chronicle Speaks, or any of these other legendary Black content creators. And when I mention these names, I mention them in the context of how great they are in their voices. I'm not dragging anybody down, actually lifting them up. But the reason why we are not where we are is because you have to have proven yourself enough. You have to be acceptable enough, and you have to have the data to be approved. And sometimes the biggest voices that can fix problems are usually the smallest voices that aren't getting paid attention to. Because I promise you this, if they're cutting out the senior vice president of diversity, equity, and inclusion for Warner Bros. Discovery as a company, what makes you think talks ain't being talked about on? Mm-hmm. And what cuts need to be made out on? Y'all can believe what y'all want to believe, but also too, this is what I do. So.
I agree. And what OWN has done to me, my opinion, they have proven that we like a lot of shucking and jiving and mess. Mm-hmm. We don't like quality, educational, family-oriented TV. We like shucking and jiving and mess.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. I mean, when I think of two other shows, Raising Whitley was an amazing show. Mm-hmm. That brought Kim Whitley to an all-new forefront. Life with LaToya was amazing. It showed LaToya Jackson a new light. And one of the most original shows, Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Mm-hmm. These were shows that showcased the diversity of who Oprah was. And to be honest with you, Carlos, Welcome to Sweetie Pies was probably the first Black entrepreneurship reality show on before you came with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Respectfully. Oprah doesn't need you. You need her. And what you're doing right now is going to sever that bridge. Now, even though she sold her shares to the company, Oprah did, I genuinely believe if I picked up the phone and called Warner Bros. Discovery, say, I want to talk to somebody I know, I would be probably, can you please hang on a minute? Click. If Oprah makes a call to Warner Bros. Discovery, she will get through. Mm-hmm. Because she's Oprah Winfrey. And I would expect that to be the chain of command, that I would be rejected and Oprah would be accepted for a phone call. Not because I'm not nobody. Let's not get that twisted. Just because I'm not recognized don't mean I'm not a nobody. However, this has her name on it. And just because you sell your association doesn't mean that that association isn't socially tied to you.
True. So. But if I was her, I would take my name off of that foolery, because I'm sorry, I don't want my name tied with nothing that's disgraceful. Like my grandmother and my parents told me growing up, do not disgrace this name. Do
Absolutely.
not disgrace our name.
Absolutely.
Do not embarrass me.
Absolutely right. And to be honest
It's
with you,
not good money.
no, you're absolutely right. Just like all publicity ain't good publicity. And you know, if I and God willing, if I get into this Rooster Teeth content creators program, I want y'all to know that I've been in media a very long time. I've been on Nickelodeon. I've been on We TV saying goodbye, Mary Mary. I've been on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I've been on ABCNews.com. I was on Ozzy Media before that shut down. I met Winona Judd. I've been around the game for a very long time. I was on Steve on Watch, on Facebook Watch, when he did his home show. So I've been around the game for a very long time. And I want y'all to know something, that even though when I get this thing, I will be one of 8, I recognize that if you want to win the race, go alone.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to conquer the marathon, you take people with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm at that talent showcase, I'm going to say to Warren Bros. Discovery, the first executive I want to talk to is at OWN right now. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Well, Mr. Lee, what do you want to do with OWN? I said, well, for what I want to do with OWN, you don't have the capacity, capability, or comprehension to execute it. You don't. I know your network way better than you do, because I have the free time to listen to the streets. I have the free time to create what needs to be said for the streets. But most of all, I'm seeing the pain points of your audience that y'all seem not to care about. Mm-hmm. So I know it's going to be rough to talk to a 28-year-old about your network. However, my mom grew up on the Oprah Winfrey Show. The black women that grew up on the Oprah Winfrey Show. At the end of the day, the Oprah Winfrey Network is a continuation of the Oprah Winfrey Show. And there is no way that any episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show would be a full hour of a Love and Marriage Huntsville type of show on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Ain't no way. So all I'm asking is for us to sit down and just give me a shot. I got to this point of being one of 8. And you need somebody black who understands black. Because the portrayal y'all are given is not being received. And the words of Eminem, you only got one shot. And I promise you, y'all are barely keeping this space station of blackness barely working. Y'all have fired off too many rockets of thinking and not too many rockets of solid thought. You have about 3 more rockets to shoot in that galaxy of the culture. Once those rockets are gone, that's it. That's it. So just give me a shot. I'm not saying I'm the solution, but I promise you I'm a better solution than the problem y'all causing for yourselves. And if I have to say to them, y'all, I'm telling you right now, OWN is basically a land of reruns with mixed in original content. Y'all are basically Pluto TV at this point. Sorry, not sorry. Now, I know that there's more to OWN than that, because Oprah is more than that. But the only way we're going to work is if we revive ourselves from the inside out. So I'm going to need test groups in every state across the country. I'm going to need to talk to the executives of OWN. I am going to do the thing that Oprah should be doing. I am going, and you know what we're going to do? Braylon is hammering out OWN. We're going to get a brick wall. and we're going to make these metal letters of OW and be like, hey, you guys, it's Braylon Lee here. Now, listen, we're making a masterpiece of OWN. So I want you to put on social media the words that you think of when it comes to OWN. We're going to put this masterpiece on this wall. And coming up very soon, we're going to blow up this wall because OWN's wall needs to be blown up so we can figure out if there's still a house here that can be built. But bigger than that, if there's a home that you want to walk into. Keep watching OWN. Keep watching what we have. But I promise you, though, I got to do some destruction before we do some destruction. So I'm going to get back to work, and I'll see you soon. I promise you that type of commercial would send a mighty rushing wind of emotions to the community of OWN. Who is this Braylon Lee dude saying that this house has a rocky foundation and he's going to save OWN? Well, listen, I'm not here by accident. You see Love and Marriage Huntsville, I can't do worse than them.
That part.
But also, too, at the end of the day, guess what? If Oprah Winfrey could be from Mississippi and segregation, somehow make it, why can't I be the person to save her? The words of our fairy godmother, Whitney Houston, God rest her soul in heaven. Impossible things are happening every day. So why can't I be something that is possible? So anyway, y'all, I felt like I was MLK Jr.'s son today.
Wait a minute, at least you're representing him well.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
The person they keep trying to, and oh my God, that irks my nerves for people to call that fool MLK.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
That irks my nerves. You have taken a great man and attached him to a buffoon.
Yep. No, I totally agree.
I wish you all the luck when you get there.
Thank you very much.
Let us know when you go so we can be praying, because we want you. We want all the people to listen to you.
Well, thank you very much. And you know, one show that I really do miss that I wish was on was Life Class. I really do. Because what that show did live, it gave you so many lessons that we need right now in the world. And honestly, if I get in and get to talk to OWN, I'm like, I want to host Oprah's Life Class. We haven't done that show in a while. Yeah, I know you haven't done that show in a while because you got mess on TV.
A lot of mess.
Do y'all not realize that Radio City Music Hall was sold out for Life Class on tour? They did like a 3-night thing at Radio City Music Hall. Do not think just because the audience is not saying anything doesn't mean that they're not having needs that need to be met. What's the worst thing that can happen by putting a 28-year-old that's got an old soul to relate to every grown man and every grown black man and black woman with a little bit of humor, a little bit of understanding, and is open to learning? What's the worst that can happen by putting that on TV? Because Life Class is a simple format. Bring in thought leaders, bring in celebrities. Hey, we can bring in everyday people and entrepreneurs and let them be the teacher for the night. Let's build back on with the soul that Oprah had, which is a continuation of the Oprah Winfrey Show. If we just take what she did back then and just add some new sauce to it, this will be fine. But you also gotta be willing to be humble enough to let go of that control. And if you ain't that humble to do it, well, God bless you, because let me tell you, Aunt Ann will be doing OWN's funeral pretty soon. Now, last time I checked, life and death is in the power of the tongue. My tongue is speaking life. What does your tongue want to speak? I know those executives are gonna be like, who in the hell is this dude?
Who did we let in? Who did we let in? Did y'all
Cause
check
this,
on this person?
cause this dude, I'm genuinely terrified of this dude. You're only terrified because you never had an energy like this to hold you to account before. But the good thing about me is I'm gonna love you through this while I'm holding you to account. And by the time we get to the other side, I promise you the ad revenue that you're gonna have is gonna be way more than what you have now. And listen, I know Carlos may say, what is Brain Lee doing here? Well, guess what, Carlos? You have a dream and so do I. But you know what's interesting, Carlos? You're at-will employee of OWN. I'm working for the network as a whole. Because if we get the network together as a whole, I'm always going to have opportunity. Meanwhile, you have a show on OWN. I'm working for the whole of OWN. People like a full pizza, not just a slice. Have a slice mentality if you want to. I'm just going to keep making deep dish pizzas. Anyway, I think that's everything. P2 Ross, you got any final words before we head out?
The only thing I have to say is we need to pay attention. We just need to pay attention to what's going on in the world that really counts.
Absolutely.
And in the words of the culture, stay woke.
Amen to that.
Culture, stay woke. Stay real woke.
No, for sure. I want to read the daily motivational thought real quick. I'm going to start with this quote. It says, "You are not obligated to win. You are obligated to keep trying to do the best you can every day." That's Marion Wright Edelman that said that. So this is the daily motivational thought from Ralph Morrison for Friday, June 30th, 2023. Liberated by responsibilities. It is certainly reasonable to consider yourself burdened by your various responsibilities. Yet it is equally true that you can be liberated by the responsibilities that you take on. Acting with responsibility sets you free from dependency. It offers you the chance to avoid a meaningless existence. Responsibility pushes you to become increasingly competent. It challenges you into a life of purpose and fulfillment. You often need to make significant accommodations and even sacrifices to fulfill your responsibilities. However, the prices you pay are more than balanced out by the benefits you gain from living responsibly. Responsibilities often feel oppressive, yet life by its very nature is difficult, and taking on responsibility is one of the best strategies for successfully dealing with life's difficulties. Responsibility makes your moments, your actions, your thoughts matter. Embrace responsibility. With each passing day, you'll create even a better version of yourself. Ralph Morrison. If you want more of that, go to greatday.com. And by the way, Carlos, you know how I'm able to end every virtual tour live with that daily motivational thought? Even though it's ran out by somebody else, I carry my show with enough class, distinction, and given a care, because even though I may not be seen by everybody, that doesn't mean my family, my friends, and the people in the background, my support team, ain't watching me. Your messages only hit when your consistency of who you are and the tenacity of how you execute leads to the destiny where everybody believes you. So instead of doing all these messages of inspiration, how about you inspire yourself to be something before you tell somebody how to become something? All right, y'all. That's how we end Braylon Lee's virtual tour live.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed
No problem.
it.
No problem. I love you. And listen, Carlos, if what I'm saying ain't true, bro, don't come for me. But if you come for me, it must be true about it to some degree. And you know what? I'm willing to come on your podcast. Because guess what? Pound for pound, soul for soul, energy per energy. You may have a platform to be seen more, but you don't have the soul to have the capacity, capability, comprehension of responsibility. I'll gladly teach you that. And if you ain't afraid and you the king of the raindrops and your kingdom reigns, you should be able to hold yourself as a king with anybody who comes for your kingdom. Let's try it sometime, you and me. Much love, everybody. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born as a blessing. And trust, you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why is one thing to call yourself? It's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, we will rise up to be something amazing together. And make sure always, whether you're doing radio, television, Clubhouse, YouTube, or you're just trying to put some soul in the world because you don't even know if the world has a soul, make sure the replay is not just worth for you to watch it, not just worth for you to listen to it, but for you to want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. And I embrace you all. I'll see you real soon.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
You too. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running or I'm chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive. If you hadn't run away every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me tonight. No, you didn't know me. All you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your magic and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. No, you didn't win this. It's a part of the game. In the beginning, I just didn't know that you're an enemy I held too close. Now I know, cause you did everything to prove me wrong. You were not the guy I thought. Now I'm beating you at your own. Yeah. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive. And you didn't know me. All you wanted was a game to play.